It's Jo here from the York Buddhist Centre. I'm not Eugenio, but I can't get that name changed on the screen this morning. So I guess it's pretty obvious that I'm Jo, not Eugenio. So good morning. We're going to do a Metta Bhavana this morning. So it's lovely to have you here. This is my second to last stint on the York Buddhist Centre morning meditation. So that feels pretty epic. And it'll just be really nice to have a last hurrah with it, because I have really enjoyed doing these meditations. So if you're tuning in later on Facebook or YouTube, we're just going to give it 2 or 3 minutes for people to arrive. I'm going to just try and get the chat on, see who's here. Jenny, hello, good morning, Jenny. Good to have you here. I don't know if you're getting that same sense of, these morning meditations, just about to let go of them, and a transition, which, it's kind of, I actually just took a photo of the little setup that I've got here. You can't see, but I'm surrounded by bits of paper and, the bell, and it's kind of been a bit of a unique time, hasn't it, in so many ways, but this little bit has been really special. So next week I'm going to be with you on Thursday, and Shaki Padar's doing the last ever morning meditation on Friday, which is bonfire night, the 5th. I guess this is my last Friday. So the transitionist of life. Good morning, Chris and Margaret and Sarah. Oh, hello. Yeah, Margaret, the new centre is right in the middle of York, so it's really accessible, but it'll take a while for us to get it kitted out. So I'm thinking it'll probably won't be open till at least maybe January, February next year. But in the meantime, we've still got our little centre on Gillygate. If you want to pop down, we're actually having a live meditation in the Gillygate Centre on Sunday, 10 till 12, that I'm going to go down to. I think there's only 3 or 4 of us at the moment, so feel free to come down. We always do lateral flow tests before we meet, and obviously you can wear a mask if you want to, so you're very, very welcome. Hello, Rachel. Good morning. And of course, you're still all really welcome to our Sangha nights, on a Wednesday evening, which is a Zoom thing. And I think to go on a Sangha night, usually you do the introductory course first. But they're online, they're accessible, and you can still join the Sangha nights remotely. So we've got people Zooming in, and then some people in the centre. So you're all still really welcome to be part of the group. In fact, we'll miss you if you don't. Although I mustn't cling to other people, but it's a nice atmosphere on Wednesday evenings, and all the details are on the Facebook page of how to join us. So do keep in touch. Hello, Julie. Good morning. Good morning. I think Julie was trying to join our Sangha night on Wednesday, weren't you, Julie? You have some sort of connection problems, don't you, where we can't see you, but you're kind of dialing in. So good for you for trying. I did notice your name there. Oh, wow, it's 7 o'clock already. I must have been wittering on. So good morning, everybody. We'll get started. Just taking time to arrive a little bit. Good morning, Michelle. As I say, this sort of transitions kind of discombobulate you a bit, don't they? They kind of set things going in your mind. So this morning I've just been sort of taking in the fact that these are going to be stopping, and yeah, lots of. I mean, I'm ready for that because it is quite hard to get up. Obviously earlier the new guys arrive, and the mornings are really dark, and feels like we've been doing it for quite a while. But there's also been something really special that I'm going to miss about connecting with you all on a Friday morning. So yeah, I'm just trying to process that a little bit this morning. So we're going to do a loving kindness meditation. And I guess I wanted to focus a little bit on the difficult person, or the person that we find tricky. And to start us off, I was going to read The Guest House by Rumi, which a lot of you will be familiar with. And it talks about all the different Vedana that show up for us on a daily basis. Sometimes it's an unexplained feeling of joy or well-being, and sometimes it's a feeling of sadness or anxiety, or a more negative Vedana that shows up. And in the poem, Rumi talks about treating them all as a new arrival at a guest house, and just welcoming them all in, because even the difficult Vedana may be there. It may be giving you some insight into how your mind is working, and maybe give you a chance to break away from a pattern of thinking that you've got into over the years, something that in your conditioning. So even the difficult emotions, and that includes people that we meet that maybe rub us up the wrong way, make us feel defensive or on edge. Maybe we're just not comfortable being around that person. Just to try and open up to that and try and just see what that's about. Usually, well, always it's to do with us and our own perceptions. And sometimes a skillful thing to do is to not be around that person. If they're bringing something to an interaction that feels quite negative, maybe they're searching for something. So sometimes the skillful thing is to take yourself away from that person, especially if they're being harmful to you in some way. However, it's often, sometimes the skillful thing to do is to try and understand that and investigate it. And that's what Buddhism gives us the tools to do. And the Metta Bhavana is part of that. We're practicing sending good feelings to someone that we find difficult and would rather not be around, which is, really radical, because in normal life, and certainly in the past, I would, in my own head, blame that other person and build up the negativity towards them. I would entertain the negativity. That's probably the right word, because it's okay to feel that initial reaction of, "Oh, you annoy me," and notice that. But if we entertain that feeling, it just builds up ill will in ourselves, and that causes us suffering ultimately more than anybody else, because we have to carry that around. So try not to entertain that ill will or the darker thoughts of blame and meanness. Try not to entertain them. But the Metta Bhavana gives us another way of trying to cope with when we do find somebody tricky. So maybe you can have a think while we're reading the poem about who you're going to choose today as the person that causes you difficulty. So we'll get started. Have a final cough. So I hope you're comfortable and you've got a little shawl or a blanket like I have. Morning, Philippa. Nice to see you here. Someone else who dips into our Sangha nights. So just settling in, and when we get relaxed, I'll read the poem. So just using your breath, just to take a couple of nice deep ones. Just to arrive. It's becoming aware of gravity and sinking in and leaning on gravity. You don't have to hold or tense your body. Let gravity and the earth gently hold you. Becoming aware of the points of contact that you have with the earth this morning. Might be in your knees or your feet, your bottom. Just becoming aware of the breath in your upper body. The rib cage expanding as you breathe in, and relaxing as you breathe out. And becoming aware that the lungs also inflate the back of your body. Just feeling the echo of the breath in your back. Just doing a quick mental body scan down through your body. Just identifying areas that are tense. Can you use the breath to soften those areas? Using the out breath just to relax your whole body. And as you stay relaxed, I'm just going to read The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So in the first stage of the Metta Bhavana, we're going to direct some loving kindness towards ourselves. Just as we are this morning. However our mind is, can we look upon ourselves with a kindly gaze? Perhaps you can remember something kind that you did this week for someone else. Or one of your good qualities that showed through. You have lots of parts to yourself, and many of them are good and kind, loving. But all the parts are welcome here in this meditation. You're living with a complex human brain that just wants to be happy, wants to find happiness. Because everything's impermanent, often causes us sorrow, disappointment. So can we direct some compassion towards ourselves this morning? And in your imagination, you might want to imagine the sunlight of compassion just falling on your face and your body, coming from the universe. Can you lower your defences and just allow that compassion to reach you? The universe is benevolent and it wishes you well. and allowing these words to come from your heart. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. Now we're going to invite a good friend into our meditation, someone who's been kind to us this week or advised us or spent time with us. Just choosing the first person who jumps into your mind. Can you mentally picture this person across from you this morning, maybe meditating beside you? Picturing their smile, their laughter, or the way of moving. We're going to direct some metta towards this being now, and really wish them well. We know this person lives with a tricky mind, just as we do. They get blown around by wanting happiness, trying to find it, trying to cling on to relationships, ideas, and then often suffering. Can we open our heart to this being? Using the breath to really connect with our heart center. Perhaps you can use your imagination to imagine the sunlight of loving kindness falling upon this friend, helping them relax and feel supported, feel friendship. Can you beam metta and love towards this person? Open your heart to them. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. And just letting that person go for the moment and identifying someone who's a relative stranger to you. Somebody that you just feel quite neutral about because you don't know them. You don't know about their life, what's going on with them. But somebody that you see fairly regularly in the neighbourhood, in the shop, the bus. Sometimes it's hard to get a clear picture of this person because we just don't pay them much attention. We're not connected to them, we don't have a relationship with them. So we don't invest any time really in thinking about them. Just noticing that. But what we can sense is that they have an inner world. Their relationships and ideas that are very important to them, that preoccupy them. Sometimes they feel that they're making progress and they feel happy and excited, and positive. And at other times, things aren't going so well for them. And they may feel frustrated, upset, even desperate. They keep clinging to things, trying to be happy. Perhaps they haven't met the Dharma yet. They don't understand that that keeps bringing them misery and just temporary pleasure. So can we send them some love this morning, some kindness? Bringing them to mind and maybe imagining smiling at them, doing something kind. Can you direct the compassion that's within you towards this stranger? And genuinely meaning these words. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. And just letting go of that person and bringing to mind a person that we find difficult. Be someone who brings up difficult feelings, frustration, irritation, maybe even ill will. And just taking a moment to imagine that person with you, maybe outside in nature somewhere. When we picture this human, we do know that they are in many ways just like us. They're trying to be happy, they're trying to be content. Their life is really important to them. It's the focus, the centre of all the thoughts, most probably. And they do suffer in lots of ways, just like we do. Disappointments, even just getting older or being ill. This being that we're considering goes through a lot. Can we direct some kindness and friendliness towards them in our imagination this morning? Using your breath just to relax your body if any tension has crept in. Just really connecting with the metta within you. Can we beam some friendliness towards this difficult human? Because actually they can teach us a lot about ourselves. And the way that we can react negatively. So just connecting with the friendliness within yourself and maybe imagining beaming some of that towards this person. Genuinely meaning these words. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. And now just imagining all four of you together in nature somewhere. Maybe in a forest or a field. As yourself, a friend, a stranger, and the person that you find difficult. can we direct equal amounts of loving kindness towards all four beings? And not forgetting yourself. You're a human. You need just as much compassion as anyone else. And if you feel that the metta within you is strong enough, can you imagine spreading that loving kindness out from the circle of the four of you outwards to the rest of the people in your town? Perhaps to the rest of people in your country, neighbouring countries, up into the sky, all the birds and the insects, down into the ground, all the creatures that live down there. All the creatures that live in the water, in our amazing seas and rivers. Just letting that loving kindness spread. As far as you can. Sometimes you can get as far as the people in your house, and sometimes that feeling's enough to go all the way around the world. And just for the last few minutes, just enjoying that feeling that you've cultivated this morning of kindness and friendliness and metta. I'm just going to read the poem one more time. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. good morning to people who've just joined, like Leslie. Good morning. I hope you enjoyed this morning's meditation. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed reconnecting with you guys and the metta that we can generate within ourselves. And if we cultivate that, it can really make a big difference to our lives, our mental state, and of course people around us. So go well. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day and a nice Halloween weekend. The weather is very Halloween-esque, which is quite atmospheric, I think, or it is in York today anyway. A bit windy and a bit wild and a bit wet. Lots of leaves kind of being blown around. So I like that on Halloween, and not too cold. So I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you for the last time in this context on Thursday morning next week for some Metta Bhavana. So if you fancy a bit of loving kindness in your life next week, join me on a Thursday. And of course, other people are throughout the week. Obviously, Shaki Padar, Alex, and Sangha Ketu. We're all doing our final ones. And you had Eugenio this week, didn't you? I think. Well, maybe yesterday. So it's lovely that he's been able to keep going with this, even from another country. It's been great to have that connection with him. So have a lovely day, everybody. And yeah, see you next week. Bye.